Hey, what's up, guys? Darby here. So I just finished filming in this video inside of our academy. That's where we work every single week with AI authors looking to get the most out of Jasper and writing books, building offers, and growing their business. So this video is one of our members, Terrence, has a program he's developing on the back end of his book. And we're using the $100 million offer recipe based on Alex Hormozi's best-selling book and framework, $100 million offers. Inside of Jasper to help kind of brainstorm and develop this offer inside of this hour. So this is really a solid first step for if you have like a book or like a front end, like podcast, anything that people are coming and finding you through, and you're looking for ways to monetize that on the back end. So kept this live showcase of going through this recipe, developing an offer kind of on the fly and the beginning steps of it. After this, our process over the next couple of weeks is going to be taking the offer and then building out landing pages, VSLs, and the whole rest of the funnel that would be associated with this offer. So to make sure you stay up to that, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and head on over to the AIauthor.com if you're not a member of the cookbook already, to make sure that you get access to not only the recipes, but additional trainings around this as we release them and stay in the know. So we'll dive right in. Have you seen the $100 million recipe that we put out a couple of weeks back?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
With Ryan had brought that up. I was opening the floor for us to work through that today. If you were open for it, Ryan, I know you have some stuff going on as well. I was curious on your front, Terrence, like for people that are buying your book, what's your goal with like this first book? Does it hit bestseller, or are you like leading back to like some coaching or consulting that you're doing?
The back end will develop. I don't have a specific back end right now. So the objective is to just get me off the dime and get me some motion, learn the system. Yeah. So I don't have a back end offer at the moment, but it will be broad, including advisory and probably a course and that sort of the regular sort of stuff.
Okay, cool. Well, I think it'd be helpful anyways, just to kind of like show you guys kind of how to walk through this recipe when it does come time to start building out that offer and solving these problems. You know, like if you haven't already, the $100 million offers book, Terrence, very good book. If you haven't read through that yet.
Let's do it with Terrence. And Darby, let's have him as the example, help you start generating and kind of dialing in what would be the back end of your book. What we find is you're not going to generate much revenue from book sales itself. It's what comes behind the book. So that's definitely what we're going to want to start looking at as well. Terrence, about how far, I know you said you did a little bit of the keyword research. How far along did you get in the coursework thus far?
I am at Avatar, but okay. It's for the previous book, the 1% a day, as opposed to where I think I need to be in the startup new business enterprise.
Okay, new business enterprise startup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Recipe is really meant to be used right alongside the book. And also inside of this recipe, I've included links back to Alex's free trainings. So on each section, if you want to go a deeper dive and have him like really talk about the principles behind it. Without that, there's still going to be just what we're trying to direct Jasper to do. A lot of this is going to be filling it in on your stuff as well. But it all starts with like the market that we're in. And so like, just give me an idea, Terrence, because we want to start with the content brief here as much as we can on like the general overview. And so kind of at like the high level, who are you serving? Like, why does that matter? Like, where is it at? Just kind of like talk me through a little bit about where you're going with this like startup, stuff and serving with your book.
Basically, the idea is, how to start a business when you can't even get off the couch. Step-by-step guide to your own business in 90 days or something like that.
Step one.
A great title.
Get off the couch.
First step one, stand up.
Sit the fuck up.
Yeah.
Step two, sit the fuck down at your computer.
Walk the desk, sit down.
The basic idea is converting entrepreneurs into entrepreneurs.
Love
and
that.
Giving them a way to get off the, it has some motivation in there. I mean, it's kind of a 3-step thing where it's getting your head right, then getting the customer right, and then getting the process right.
Cool. So just kind of jotting down this information as we're talking about it, Terrence. And here, so we've got like, all right, what are we talking about? How to start a business when you can't get off the couch?
Yep.
Where does this concept apply? We've already like how it's going to be like a step-by-step guide. I might change this to course because this is what people are getting after the fact, but it could still be, the book is basically the outline of the course. So either way we look at it, getting your head right. What was it? You said getting your head right are the 3 things.
Yeah, it's head. The three areas is getting your head right. So I had, it's like head space,
Okay.
customer space, and then I haven't come up with a name for the kind of the third step. But the third step is about getting the business model correct. Customer space.
Business model. Just see like that. You say like this applies to maybe like entrepreneurs who want to be like real entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
Or okay.
Exactly. People,
Cool.
People who want to think about it, hope, dream, but never do anything.
So you understand what we're doing right now. We're going through the $100 million offer recipe based on Alex Hormozi's book. And we're taking kind of like, okay, you want to sell a back end on your book. You want to sell a complimentary program, but not quite sure what that is. Like, here's how we kind of like brainstorm getting that offer off the ground and legs to start building on. So this is like for entrepreneurs. Why does this matter? And you're in your own words, in a sentence or two, like, why does this matter right now?
It's trying to get people who live vicariously through other people to actually experience it themselves. It's about living the dream as opposed to just dreaming the dream.
And is there a concept of time involved? You said about 90 days, right?
Yeah, but I can be flexible. I was thinking about this morning. I think 90 days is a good time, but 90 days might be too long, because if these people are generally lazy, taking them through a 90 days, they may fall off sometime in the middle. So I'm not exactly sure if 90 days is the right time frame if we want to get action. But we can play with that. We can say 90 days for today.
Okay. Yeah. Easy to modify like the little variables here. So cool. We've got like the skeleton of what we want to do in the content brief. So I'm going to start now by like going over here to the content description on the left-hand side for Jasper. And just, I'm going to voice dictate this just to kind of speed up the process.
Please.
And so we say like, this is an offer. This is an offer creation exercise. So it's an offer creation exercise on how to start a business when you can't even get off the couch. Concept of time. So this is a course for people who think, hope, and dream about being an entrepreneur. Then we'll start. Why does this matter? It matters because I'm being like really literal here, because I want Jasper to get these like high level overview points and like have enough of like the concept on both ends to make them meet. Stop living the dream, start meeting the dream.
So this is for entrepreneurs.
It's for it's for entrepreneurs who want to be entrepreneurs. And capitalize it, see if I'm just going to pick up on that. And like,
this is a step-by-step guide.
It's a step-by-step guide to starting your business in 90 days using, I'm going to say like the 3-step.
You could say process. This is a 3-step guide. Step 1.
It says right here. So I'm going to say starting your business here. Yeah, just do like step 1 right here. Step 1 right here. I'm going to say step 2. Just for, we have a little bit of space to play with. So step 2, and then I'll say customer step 3 right here with the business model. And Terrence, in your own, like from your perspective, you might have like tons of internet content out there to reference like yourself, or is there like another sort of like influencer in the space of this business world who like maybe reflects a lot of like how you want to present your tone of voice?
Like Tony Robbins,
and like have knowledge on this side of on this type of stuff too. Is there any like?
I like Neil Patel's tone.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Okay, Neil. Okay, cool. So like we got like Neil Patel. Any other like descriptive words that would complement Neil's tone? Maybe like one or two that come to mind.
We want it to be. Yeah, we want it to be motivational, and provocative and informative kind of at the same time.
Those are great.
Okay. I like the provocative one. That's gonna be interesting to see how Jasper picks up on that. I'm just gonna add these in over here so I can quickly and easily reference like the first original content brief. And the reason I do that is because you might find you want to edit it and tweak it as we like really go down this. And so, but you say like, hey, that first one that got me so far down, it was like really gold. I don't want to lose it. Just go ahead and copy and paste that up here, especially as you find stuff that's winning. For the title, we want to add something in here. How to start a business when you can't get off the couch. That's okay. So now that we've kind of like set the table on the content brief side, now we want to talk about a little bit about who is our target audience. And so this is where, like, especially at this recipe, you need to be really interactive with Jasper.
Yeah.
And that, so, I mean, I could brainstorm who the target audience is. And we basically said it. And so target audience, entrepreneurs who, you know, want to start a business, never do anything about it. They hope and dream. They aren't, you know, this course is to finally take action, start their business. Cool. Like, if that's accurate, like,
I mean, I think ultimately it's people who see obstacles that are bigger than they actually are. You know, I don't have an idea. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough education. All of these things that stop people that we're going to try to dispel in the book, that you don't need those things.
cool. Perfect. Yeah. And we'll get to, that's really good to pick all of those out. I'm just putting a little note right here. So cool. Let me move on, like the second section, right? Like just basic identification of this is market work, like what the pain is going to be, like really telling here of like, is this something that we have? And so knowing what we want here, again, like super brainstorm, you know, experiences pain, not knowing how to start, not having enough money, not having the time. You know, this is like
Crazy. It pulled those and it didn't even read that from the stars above, right?
Yeah.
Because it's starred.
Yeah, they might be experiencing pain. Like, so here it's like, initially it's like, okay, brainstorming it. Like, and I see like, okay, I've got 1, 2, 3 things here.
What command are you
Like,
using? Are you using just regular?
I'm listing this out right here. And so, but the problem, like, this is like a little like command hack, right? We got 1, 2, 3, here's like the output, but I'm like, okay, it's clearly, we have more than just like initially 3 pains on all of that. So instead of list out all their present pain points, I'm going to like switch that, list out 27 of their present pain points.
And the idea is that we'll go back and pick the top, whatever 5, whatever out of the 27 or something.
Yeah. So like, there we go. Like one little tweak right there with that. And now it's like, all right, here's all their pain points. And it's already on number 9, lack of funds, not being able to get off the couch, motivation.
Exactly.
Like, okay.
Exactly.
And so like the whole concept behind the $100 million offer is like, just find every single problem that someone could possibly have and answer it. And they'll have no, like, be stupid to say no to you. And so we did 27 up here. We got 27, looks to be unique, not strategic, not analytical enough. They don't like change. Like, now Jasper started prompting itself, why does that matter? We have like more prompts down here that we can dive into as we want to, but because like we want to keep this, like, just like we talk about with the book and like minimum viable version of the book, get the content out there, get it done, then we'll come back and edit and refine. If I find that Jasper's on a roll with something like this, I'm just going to kind of run with it a little bit and just give me like Command J to see where it's at. Like, why does this pain matter to them? It prevents them from taking action. Like you're probably saying your lack of energy and motivation is preventing you from taking action. Well, that's simply not the case. You know what I mean? Like, and so these are all different like angles really that we could. They think they're too young or too old, that prevents them from taking advantage of them. Family and friends discouraging them, right? They don't have X, Y, or Z. Like, they're not creative enough, prevents them from thinking outside of the box and coming up with ideas. Right. And so like, if I'm going even like offer creation, I'm like, wow, like how could I like solve that objection with something that's super simple and like leverageable, right? Here's the ultimate brainstorming cheat sheet for X, right? And so like, I'm kind of tucking those ideas away, and it's going to do 27 here because we've already had 27 products. And now it's going to start repeating that or doing other things. So I'm like, okay, cool. We've got a lot of their problems. That's what they're experiencing right now. You know, getting off of the couch. So now that I know all these problems, like, I think I wrote this one where it's just like Jasper gave it. And I was like, that's a pretty good prompt. And it gave me good outputs. Okay. So like now, like really quickly, like we're not even into, like you can spend 2 hours in this recipe and still like keep digging and digging. But immediately it's like, what does my offer include? It knows the problem. It knows the context of it. Step-by-step guide. It offer includes an outline of what to do each day. You get access to a private Facebook group. You always get my personal email address. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're not happy with the course, lifetime access, bonus materials, templates, checklists, and resources. And like this is like, you could write your own reviews for the course, which Jasper's doing right now. But like, if you give everyone like all the templates, the checklists, the recipes, and like what the point, the rest of this exercise is now like, okay, how do you like name those? Like what's included inside of these templates that can help people? It's like, cool. Now we've got that. And now someone's like, could you really possibly fail if you didn't put your mind, get off your ass off the couch and do this? Like, here's everything you need. And so again, like, I don't know if you're going to actually use this. Never wanted to start my business, but maybe also brainstorming ideas like, what does success look like to customers of yours, right? Thanks for Jasper. Appreciate it. Like, what does your prospect want? They want to be successful and achieve your goals, right? Like the desires that we're trying to dig up here. They want to feel productive at what they accomplished at the end of the day. They want to be creative. They want to have purpose. They want to have a flexible schedule, right? Like, what are people like? Each of these could be their own like blog post, Facebook ad, chapter of a book, checklist, template. What does my prospect need? Sometimes I'll find that these needs will just literally rephrase up here.
I like that.
But it's like, what does someone need to do it? Like basically they need everything. They're afraid of failing. And so it prompted itself the fears because of the thing, be as detailed as possible. They're afraid of not being able to stick with it. Like this will work, even if you're afraid of, whatever you want to say there. And so now we've got that whole section filled out for the target audience, like the prospect's pain, right? So it's like really the biggest focus of what we want to do is how do we help them from that pain, that Hell Island area, help them cross the water, navigate through the sharks, through all their problems, and then end up on that, like where they want to be with that aspect. Excellent. This next one is the purchasing power. So this is kind of like, you don't want to target people that are just broken or never going to have money to pay you in the first place, but or otherwise. And so the question, this is where it's like, okay, Jasper is going to say like yes or no, or just kind of brainstorm a little bit. But honestly, like I find that these answers are a little bit more like shallow. It's like, yes, no, they do, or otherwise, but like thinking, who of the people that are these types of folks, like, are you going to be targeting? Do they actually have the money to? If they do, then awesome. If not, you might want to reconsider at least like the price point of your thing. Like, is this a $50,000 premium mega offer that you're here? Or is this going to be like $100 a month course that they're buying or a $500 program, or, meeting them where they're at in this particular instance, and how do you help them get that result? So just my experience with this section with Jasper is more brainstorming still. And so same with kind of the easy to target. And so it's like, yeah, like the course is designed for here. Okay, that's a little bit repetitive. Like so also ask yourself, is my prospect easy to target? Yeah, they can be reached through social media, email, and other platforms. Like, cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. Like, okay, well, where does a entrepreneur hang around online? Probably on Facebook or Twitter or something like that. What about in person? Maybe what are they? Events, meetups, gatherings for entrepreneurship. That's not bad. So like, how do I attract my ideal customer? Oh, okay. So someone who's interested, but they've held back because lack of motivation of knowledge, can easily be reached by this. You can also offer incentives such as discounts or free trials, encourage them to try your product or service, right? So brainstorming on that front. Is the market growing? Like, yeah, entrepreneurship has never been more popular before. Cater entrepreneurs. So that's great. And like, again, you can use this for like your ad copy or something like that, and figure something. It's easy to target. Number of ways to reach these entrepreneurs. Is it growing? Yes, the market is growing. And so like, kind of like the preliminary stuff there, to getting to like the niching down. And that's what Hormozi talks about, like sub niching like 2 or 3 times, like to really get specific with it. So here, like, again, like just following this sort of market, it's going to give us the examples based on, I didn't give it any more context. Give an example of niching down in the, let's just say like wealth market, about your entrepreneur. They say like startup entrepreneur or something like that. Use.
When he's niching down, I mean, you can niche down on for multiple purposes. For example, you can niche down in terms of marketing, in terms of really segmenting your market, your customer base into marketing, or you could niche down in terms of the actual deliverable. Which is he talking about here, or both?
He's talking about like, so like example is like right here, wealth, real estate, flipping, having to go see a property all day using DMs. Like without this, like there's a niche market of real estate, of flipping, that does not want to go and like visit every single house that they need to visit. They just want to flip using DMs. And so like that's a lot more specific than just people trying to make money in real estate.
Right. But the question is that in terms of we're going to go after that niche, or are we going to create a program for that niche? Those are two separate things.
I guess when you say that, I see them as similar. Like you create a program specifically for that niche, and then you target that niche to have your program be the solution to their problem.
Okay.
Like, what are all like the problems that someone experiences in real estate flipping that is tired of going, or all the problems a woman who's looking to lose weight after just having kids, right? You develop a ketogenic program for them. Now you go and find the woman who just have kids, figure out what they've tried before to lose weight, and then offer them your keto program as the solution. I mean, even if you just go to like entrepreneur events, right? Or like financial freedom, this is what Jasper said, financial freedom, making money online, starting a business, right? So it's like, oh, you've always wanted to make money online. You've heard about e-commerce. You've probably thought about starting a Shopify business, right? But you won't get off your ass and get off the couch and actually do it. Here's a program for how to start a Shopify business, right? You know, maybe that's like how you would create a niche program really specific to that type of offer. Like here, but yours might want to be a little bit more broad than that. You don't want to just focus specifically on Shopify, right? You just want to cater this to like who you want to really specifically serve, and then have your program do deliverables that help them accomplish that goal, like with that problem. I think especially for like people that are just trying to start up a business, like probably one of the overwhelms, like there's so many opportunities out there, right? So are there like, even for your first like 10 course sales, right? Like how can you help people like be successful using Jasper to write affiliate blogs that like make you money without, needing to spend $5,000 on a tech startup app or anything like that? Or like affiliate marketing could be one of those niches in that you're helping teach people. You could literally go any direction with it. And so it's part of like kind of keeping the focus of very specific problems. In this case, what's my product worth? Jasper is going to go all over the place with something like this. Like it's not really going to have the context. I mean, I don't know where it gets $10 a unit from right here, but part of just like pricing your product out, right? And Hormozi's like, charge as much as you can for the product, and then like deliver it, and find the margin inside between like the value you're adding and like the cost of delivering. I love this exercise because it's like you can do 2 minutes, but like he says 2 minutes, and I like looked at the book and I was like, there's no way I'm coming up with this many different use cases for a product on my own without doing it. Luckily, we can ask Jasper to list out 50 ways how my offer could be valuable. And then you run this command. I'll teach you how to convert your excess body fat into usable energy. This is like different use cases that we could potentially like, you could position your product for. And so this is like purely like brainstorming. Like, I don't know if this is going offer to wait mundane tasks. It can be used to generate income, help people stay fit and active. I think it's taking some stuff from like the couch right here. And so if you're just like, okay, are these ways that my product can be used or not? Or do I need to like rerun this a little bit, right? You just go back through and rerun the exercise. Qualify prospects, sell more products and services. Like if you're telling someone how to like do a step-by-step business, like they might need to learn how to attract high value clients. And so that's one way that your product could be useful. Your product could also be useful for helping people increase their online sales. And so these are all like, I like the way that Jasper's listing these out now. Because like, you're not going to use all of these by any means. Like you need to really be like, chop a lot of the fluff out, but
edit.
Yeah. Edit it. And so, but now we've got, a big pool to use from and saying like, okay, like your product make a difference in your industry, accelerate your career growth. Like, oh yeah, like you feel dead in the water with your career. Well, like this will help you accelerate your career growth by adding this skill set. You'll be able to make this much more income, start your own business, yada, yada, yada. And then so the section just like, now that we've got like a list of good ideas, this is on you for going back through and like chopping down some of the stuff that just doesn't make sense inside of here. And the stuff that's like, okay, yeah, that would actually be really useful. That would be really useful. And then this next section is dialing in again with like the value equation he talks about. So, and these benefits right here are going to be like really like the pillars of like how you're going to be like pitching your product, right? Like feeling like a fat, lazy slob. Well, this is going to increase your productivity by tenfold. Going through this program is going to get your ass off the couch and get everything in gear, right? And you want these benefits to be really short and really quick to the point. Just the same way you'd say like, oh, you want 6-pack abs. Well, here's how you do it, right? You want to improve your health. Well, this is an angle that starting a business can actually be like helpful for your health. And, depending on like how you're positioning the course kind of here, increase sales, improve customer loyalty, brainstorming a little bit more, enhance brand reputation, like stop looking like, again, who the customers you're going to be serving more better than Jasper does, even at this case. So case studies, we already wrote a few of the case studies up there, but like the more that you can get of these whenever you're launching your course, getting your book out there, getting results back, and just make sure you're documenting that as it comes up and just like store them away in like a Google Drive or an Evernote or something, so that whenever it's time to start putting it on like a sales page, you can have all those case studies easy to reference. Like that. And then here, and this is like the write a creative story about this work. So you just play with Jasper for that aspect. And so the time delay aspect and the $100 million offers, like how short of like the feedback loop can we get to say like, okay, like stuff is actually like happening right here. So it's like, so it's repeating a little about the course, but like, here's ways that maybe you could like help people like every single day get a feedback loop. Like, hey, get a text from me every single day, updating me on your progress. Or here's the checklist that you fill this off on week 1 of like a 4-week deal to keep you on track, right? That's something that would be helpful for someone to not fall off and get back on the couch. Another question, how can you make it easier? People who can't even do this precise step-by-step doing though, this would minimize the amount of effort and sacrifice, convenient for people who want to take a plunge into entrepreneurship. So like, yeah, it could be one angle. This could be things like instructional videos, templates, business plans, marketing material. So all things that you can add in to make it easier for someone. Comfort of their own home, making an online course, right? Do it from your own home. So now that we've got like that, this is another one kind of talking about going a little bit deeper. How did the prospect want to be perceived? Successful in having the lifestyle status they want to achieve, dream outcomes, financially free. I mean, that's a huge one. That's like in general, right? Like time and time again, money, time, freedom, make it online, like selling the dream, but like, you're still like, how does someone actually like get a result? Something like that. And so internal, external desires, good things to just have at your back. And like what does someone truly desire? And like, how can you craft your marketing and your message around that? If someone really desires being their own boss, financial freedom, that sort of thing. And like, how do they want to be seen? Like, these are all things you want to hit on that the course will help them solve. So, so like up to this point, we've got like a lot in terms of like the dream outcomes, I guess like you have like the different ways your product can use and all of that sort of stuff. But here is where we start like, okay, like listen, getting down to like the nitty gritty of like, what are like really the top problems that people are solving here. And that's 1, 2, 3, problem 1. Can't figure out how to start a business. Procrastination, right? These are all the excuses that people have that you need to object and handle right here. So feeling alone, problem 11, not feeling prepared, feeling stuck. All right, perfectionism. I'm just making sure it's not repeating, confident, being too attached to the outcomes perfectly. So like that's 20 problems, plenty of enough problems to work with and trim down there. But if you wanted to go back and keep generating more, you could, and just keep building on top of that. But the next step is now you got all the problems. How do we make all the solutions? So from here, you just copy and paste those problems back up, add them in here for the solutions.
Yeah, the question though is how, I mean, the problems and the solutions are also the same things that we're going to answer in the book. And so while, I mean, the course or whatever this is needs to, I guess, supplement or take the book to a higher level without necessarily repeating everything. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of like, I mean, the book is like the higher level overview, like roadmap of the thing. And like that's to do it yourself. Here's the book, like here's like the process for around it. But if you'd like a more done with you approach, or like to work with me to do it, right? Here is like, I'll help you implement, here are all the resources that you tap into. If you want a turnkey solution for your business, you know, that's going to cut, I mean, that's way on the higher end of things, right? For doing it like on that front. But once you have all the problems here, the next command just be like, list out all the problems above and provide, I just should position this and position my offer as the solution for the problem.
Yep.
Sometimes I need to run this command a few times. So that's not really giving a tangible answer. It's just more like giving an answer there. Probably like list out the problems. Let's see, like 1 through 20. And then position your offer as the solution to the problem in a sentence. Let me see, like in 1, 2.
Maybe it's because it says, and then it says list out the problems 1 through 20 and then position. Maybe it's not getting that it's list out the problem starting with 1, list out the problem, then solution to the problem.
I'm saying, and answer each in order. Positioning your offer as the solution in 2 to 3 sentences. Yes, there we go. So now that it's on a little bit of a pattern, I want to see it includes a system and like make sure it makes sense. So like this offer includes a system to stay focused and motivated to take action. Like no money or resources. Like we provide creative solutions for people who don't have any money or resources.
We do.
You don't have to.
I do.
Perfect. And so, yeah, I mean, offer helps you face your fears.
Exactly. No, this is perfect.
Yeah. So because it's doing community entrepreneurs, yeah, this is good right now.
Yeah.
And so heavy lifting, troubleshoot, moving forward, clear roadmap. Perfectionism. Yeah, exercise. And so like later on, when we keep going down this, it's like, okay, what do you name a solution that's a creative exercise? Like the perfectionist's procrastination solution or whatever. So now that we've got all of those answered, whew, that was hard. Copy and paste those down here. So now we've got all of them in this next section. Now it's like, what are creative names for products that solve these problems? So here, really before you jump into this section, like you should probably like go through the step 4 process as well to understand like to get like Hormozi's perspective on the delivery solutions. I've listed them all out right here. So just like, okay, like, do you want to do one-on-one? If you don't provide a one-on-one solution, right? Is it one to many? Is it one to few? Like, how involved do you want to be with the process? How scalable do you want it to be? Right? Is it you planning on only having like 3 clients with this who want to pay you $3,000 a month, or however you want to manipulate it? And so because I got that same command here. And so these are kind of brainstormy ways if I wanted to provide a delivery solution for this. So would you say like a done with you, like a group, like a one to many or one to few solution?
I think
is
that
somewhere you're going here?
Probably as a start, probably one to do it with you, a one to many, and then the next level up, the ladder would be a more one-on-one thing, but that could be next stage.
Yeah, so if I like one to many, let me see, what do we have here? I mean, I'm just gonna write done with you because I think that that's going to give Jasper more context. So you go like,
I like how you positioned the book as the book is do it yourself. The course is done with you.
Absolutely. So like brainstorming here, if you want to do X, like what could I offer? So you could say like, okay, if I wanted to do X, like what could I offer for the solution above? Like what could I offer? So you say like, I could offer 90 days. And it's like, oh, this would include providing a creative business plan, finding customers. I would also provide one-on-one coaching to stay you on track here. So you'd be like, interesting. Maybe I do want to offer that. And so you could just keep that in here and then move that command out and then kind of go down the line with it there. But what I want to do, actually, let me do that here. Wanted to provide one here. There it was. Wait a minute. Gosh. Okay, creative names. So examples here. Then we go back up. If I wanted to provide, what would I do? Done with use delivery solution. So they just added that one here. Now it's like, okay, like what would I actually call this product? Let's see if this one actually works. This is where I just kind of like poke and prod it with something like that. A little bit, move this here and say for solve this problem with the solution provided above. This will include as a bundle. I added this language here because I found like it took a few tries originally, but like this, you see like for the product above. And so now it's like, what can we like name this product in particular? And so if I want to just come back to this and say, okay, let's go ahead and delete that. We'll leave that one here. But like, I just want to like rapidly brainstorm all the different product ideas that I have with this. I'm going to take that command for to problems 1 through 20 above. Oh. And so we'll test that out now with a little bit more context. Startup 90, the entrepreneur's roadmap. Turn your dreams into reality. 90 days starting your own business. Right. And so it's like, okay, like these could all be like product names, like the entrepreneur's roadmap, or you can get like a lot more specific and really focus in like on just one. If you're like, okay, I really want to come up with a creative name for a product that solves this problem of overcoming your fears and confidence. And you're like, okay, like I'm going to include, and you ask it like the delivery mechanism here, right? A one-to-many solution. Okay, it's going to give me X answer. And then business in a box, kind of brainstorming idea here. But this is honestly where I get like hung up, is like actually naming the product. And so like you really find like 1 or 2 in here that'll click. And you're only going to have like a handful of like product bundles either. The Entrepreneur's Cool Kit, the Procrastinator's Guide to Starting a Business. Like this could be a short ebook that you write, you know, like each of these could be like micro info products that like when you put them all together, they're great, but you've cut like, I don't know what he calls them off the top of my head. But he's like, you like take the solution, you just like create tons of different pieces. The Anti-Procrastinator's Guide to Starting a Business. And like, that could be like one sliver of like what you're really offering, but because you position it as its own offer, it starts to just stack and like shows people like literally like, this is what you get with this part of the offer. And like going into more detail with it shows not just yourself, but like, oh, these guys have thought through every single problem I could possibly have. And you're answering those problems with like, you know, whatever the name of your product is. So immediately it should be like, it answers the problem, it provides the solution, and it's got a name to it with what gets delivered. Provided in that, got this brainstorming exercise. We've just went through that. And so now it's like, at this point, we got, you know, we're coming up on top of the hour now, but like you got 20 of those. How do you want to get those down to like 5 or 10? Trim out all the ones that are going to be like, maybe you don't want to do one-on-one coaching. So just like, don't offer one-on-one coaching to start, or maybe you do, you shift in that way. This direction here, high value, meaningful, fast, low value, not, right? So you want to do the high value with as lowest cost to you. Obviously your time is going to be the premium here if you're offering anything with your time there, but like the templates and stuff that you can develop, the worksheets, if you want to make your own like Jasper recipe. I know Linda's doing that, like to support her book and stuff. Like these are value adds that are highly leverageable for people that are getting them, and they're not going to take more of your time. The more you make, the more your offer is going to stand out. Then you just keep backing it up with like the case studies and testimonials. Bottom half here, what's like, is there going to be scarcity onto this project? Are you only accepting X per class? Really, these are just kind of like examples, and like it's pretty self-explanatory at this point, right? But it's like, hey, how do you want to enroll people? What's the scarcity you want to add in there? Is there an urgency? Again, pretty like just kind of like following through the process. Like, how do you want to position this offer? Taking from kind of the examples Alex provides. And then the bonuses are a fun part to add in here. Bonuses solve a problem. So maybe it's like, write a list of 20 bonuses I can offer to complement this product. 1, 2, additional training. Yeah, like big time.
Wow.
So additional training, like cool. Now we've got all of these bonuses. So this was like, give each bonus above a special name, starting with 1 and going to 20. Headspace. Okay. So that was nice, but then this is still just like bah. So I'm like, wait, maybe we need to get in like a actual like writing a headline thing. This step by step, customer space. If you wrote that over here, business model,
Pulling directly from the description.
yeah, customizable experience bonus. See, not as, I mean, it's kind of like a headline here, like premium support is a bonus, or extra support, or whatever. Priority customer service, like you're just giving it a name in general, I think is kind of part of, not a hack, but like bonus lifetime membership. Like this could be, whatever. Get creative like on your side too. Like Jasper's not necessarily like, I like how it does like the headspace. I realize that's coming from kind of over here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like, get creative with each name. Like,
That's
say you
super
were to do it like,
right?
yeah, like the AI author group coaching, like support, primary support, like, or something like that. Like if you're building it around like the brand of your book and what you're doing already, like even a little bit of customization or personalization like that just makes it sound like unique, rather than saying like, but priority support, that's a bonus. Throw that in there. Anything along those lines. And then the guarantees at the bottom of here are, the last aspect of this, like you've already done like most of the work up top already. Now it's just like, okay, cool. Start making some headlines with it. What are we going to name all of our bonuses? I guess that's where this one came into, like, write a series of creative headlines for the products here. And so you would basically just like add that in, pair it with like what, just like you're learning inside of like the Hormozi's course in his book with this recipe. And yeah, I mean, like that's like really the foundation of like, even before you're going to go on like a sales page, like running through this once. That way, if like you're writing like a VSL or landing page or X, Y, or Z, anything, you're like, oh, I've already got all the benefits of my product, or I've already got all the problems that my problem solves, or I've already got all of this stuff. You can pull it from this recipe or this offer exercise and plug it into any of the other recipes that you want to build off of. So,
but actually, one of the best learnings from this was to play with what you give Jasper. Little adjustments can make a big difference.
Yeah, like none of these are like set in stone, like by any means. Like it's a nice starting spot with like the prompts, but like just tweak with it and mess around and see what you can come up with. So winning tone of voice. I mean, I think we got good content out of this, and you still got 122 characters or something like that to play with for additional context in the content brief.
Oh,
so as the offer becomes more refined and you're like, okay, you're not going to need this top section in this much detail like forever. You might be like, all right, here's the top like 5 benefits. Benefit 1 equals this, 2 this, 3 this. And then you could start to add more and more of that context in with your content brief, and just give Jasper a lot more to work with at the end of the day. So
but that content brief is good, because now I'm going to take that one and adjust it and use it as my initial content brief for the introduction.
Perfect. Sweet. Cool. I'm just shooting this into a doc for you real quick, and I'll link it for you here. And other than that, wow, inside of an hour. There we go.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
There's a little one. Later, man.